How you doing? Wait, big down.
You got Gucci flatwear because you didn't want to buy it. It's not because you couldn't afford it. What do you mean? And immediately, she made me feel this.
Celine had Unbreak My Heart, and she didn't feel that. I don't know what the situation was, but I know I got it. So we kind of flipped off.
Did other people in Cash Money do that, or was it just Baby and Wayne?
Nah, man, we all used to do that. That was an in-house thing. Like, used to be like, you know what I'm saying? Now love, probably how much you love.
Just when it seemed like the Braxton family had finally found peace, another storm rolled in. Fans thought the drama was behind them, but something deeply personal has now come to light. This time, it isn't about music or fame. It's about loyalty, secrets, and a marriage that may not have been what it appeared to be. When Tamar Braxton spoke out, it didn't feel like gossip or shade. It felt like a warning, as if something hidden for years had finally surfaced. At the center of it all are Toni Braxton and Birdman, a relationship that has always seemed complicated, fragile, and surrounded by mystery.
Tell me this poppin'. Y'all get married?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
I've been in love with her for 20 years.
They say the truth always finds a way out. Sometimes it whispers. Other times it explodes. And this time, it hit like a crash no one saw coming.
How you doing? Wait, big down.
Fans began asking the same question over and over. Did Tamar just reveal that Toni was in an open marriage she tried to keep private? And if so, why now? What pushed her to finally speak? Whatever happened didn't just stir social media. It shook a family, a sisterhood, and a legacy built over decades. And once you hear the full story, it becomes clear that none of this feels accidental. Toni Braxton has always been the composed one, the polished sister, the one who carried herself with quiet strength through every rise and fall. Since the early 1990s, she became the voice of heartbreak. Her music didn't just play, it healed. Songs like Unbreak My Heart weren't just hits. They were emotional lifelines for millions. But behind the elegance was a woman fighting battles the public never fully saw. Health struggles, financial hardship, industry betrayal, public divorces, endless scrutiny. Still, Toni stood with grace. Fans watched her survive bankruptcy, lupus, and heartbreak without losing her dignity.
Did other people in Cash Money do that, or was it just Baby and Wayne?
Nah, man, we all used to do that. That was an in-house thing. Like, used to be like, you know what I'm saying? Now love, probably how much you love.
Through all of it, Toni guarded her private life fiercely. Then came Birdman, a powerful and outspoken figure in hip-hop. On the surface, they seemed like an unlikely pair. R&B royalty and rap mogul, soft-spoken and streetwise. But their connection went back years before romance ever entered the picture. They were friends first, and that mattered to Toni.
We were young. We just used to be like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like somebody hitting somebody on the ass. You know what I'm saying? When they playing basketball, that don't mean they...
When Birdman was sick, she stood by him. When life became heavy, they leaned on each other. And when their relationship went public, fans were surprised but hopeful. It felt genuine. It felt mature.
I read that you were upset about stories that your overspending caused it.
When rumors of engagement began circulating, people want to believe Toni had finally found her forever, someone who understood her scars and didn't dim her shine. But something always felt off. The breakups, the reunions, the silence, the denials followed by cryptic clues. Toni never explained much, and she didn't owe anyone an explanation. Still, the mystery grew. Were they married? Were they not? Were they truly together or just emotionally attached? And what were they really agreeing to behind closed doors? While Toni stayed quiet, her sister Tamar was watching everything unfold up close.
You got Gucci flatwear because you didn't want to buy it. It's not because you couldn't afford it. What do you mean? And immediately, she made me feel this.
Tamar Braxton has never been the quiet one. She's emotional, expressive, and brutally honest, sometimes to a fault. Where Toni keeps things private, Tamar puts everything on the table. That difference has fueled tension between them for years. Fans have watched their arguments on reality TV, heard Tamar accuse her family of not supporting her, and witnessed their tears and reconciliations. But through all the chaos, Tamar has always made one thing clear. She loves her sisters deeply, especially Toni.
Could anybody blow through upwards of $50 million? Well, start with a fetish for silverware and sheets, throw in a few other big-ticket items, and mix with...
Even when they clashed, there was an unbreakable bond between them, a history no argument could erase. That's why what happened next shocked so many people. IT began subtly, Tamar liking shady posts, speaking in circles during interviews, hinting that Toni's relationship wasn't as traditional as fans believed. At first, people brushed it off. That's just Tamar, they said, but then her tone changed. Her words sharpened, the pauses grew heavier, and suddenly, the internet realized something serious was unfolding.
She had Unbreak My Heart, and she didn't feel that. I don't know what the situation was, but I know I got it. So we kind of flipped.
Then came the moment everyone is talking about. Tamar, visibly emotional, suggested that Toni was in an arrangement rather than a normal marriage. She didn't say it directly, but she said enough for fans to connect the dots. She implied that Toni had accepted things she shouldn't have had to, that she compromised her own happiness to keep peace. And when the phrase open marriage started circulating, it felt like the ground shifted beneath the Braxton name. What stunned people most was Tamar's tone, not excited, not judgmental, but wounded, as if she had been holding this in for years and finally couldn't anymore. According to those close to the situation, Birdman's lifestyle never truly slowed down. Even when he and Toni were supposedly committed, rumors followed him everywhere. Other women, late nights, separate lives. Toni, known for her loyalty, reportedly tried to make it work in her own way. And if that meant redefining the rules of marriage, she did so quietly. But Tamar didn't agree with that choice. She felt Toni was settling, accepting less than she deserved just to say she had a partner. In Tamar's eyes, her sister was shrinking herself emotionally to keep a man who was never fully present. And watching that broke her heart. Family gatherings became tense. Conversations grew distant. Tamar felt Toni was protecting Birdman more than protecting herself. Toni felt Tamar was being reckless with her words. The sisters stopped confiding in each other. Resentment replaced closeness. Then came the breaking point. Reports began to swirl that Toni finally reached her limit. Whether it was infidelity, disrespect, or emotional exhaustion, something snapped. Toni pulled back. She went silent. No statements. No interviews. Just distance. And that silence spoke volumes. Tamar, on the other hand, exploded. She felt betrayed, not only by Birdman, but by the entire situation. In her mind, the truth had to be said, even if it hurt, even if it caused backlash. Watching her sister suffer in silence felt worse than any criticism she might face. Fans quickly chose sides. Some accused Tamar of exposing family business. Others praised her for saying what everyone suspected. And in the middle of it all stood Toni, heartbroken, embarrassed, and forced to face a narrative she never wanted public. The emotional toll has been heavy. Toni spent her career protecting her image and her peace. Now she's being discussed in ways that strip her of control. Questions about her marriage, her boundaries, her self-worth. That kind of scrutiny cuts deeper when you're already drained. For Tamar, the fallout has been painful too. Speaking your truth doesn't always feel empowering. Sometimes it feels lonely. She's facing criticism, distance from her sister, and the knowledge that her words changed everything. Yet she doesn't seem to regret it. In her heart, silence would have been worse. This isn't just celebrity gossip. It's a story about love, compromise, and the price of keeping secrets. About how even powerful women sometimes accept pain to avoid being alone. And how families struggle between protecting the truth and protecting each other. Now Toni stands at a crossroads. Will she finally speak? Will she redefine her life on her own terms? Or will she continue choosing privacy over closure? One thing is certain. Her relationship with Birdman will never be seen the same way again, and Tamar is left as the truth teller, whether she wanted that role or not. A sister who could no longer stay quiet. A woman who watched someone she loved bend too far and finally said, enough. In the end, this isn't about who's right or wrong. It's about what happens when love becomes a negotiation instead of a safe place, when loyalty turns into silence, and when the truth finally breaks free, no matter how messy it gets. Because the truth doesn't always arrive gently. Sometimes it crashes through the door, And once it does, there's no going back.